Okay. Good evening. Happy Thursday. Good to see your faces on here, Emily and Jessica, Crystal and Jillian. And I know others of you are going to be watching this recording, so thank you for taking the time to do that. All right, so we're going to get started. Sorry, just really quick. I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, so Jillian and I have been in touch with all of you. Okay. One of us have been in touch with some of you. Okay. So we've all been in touch with some of you. You've all been connected with by us. And we have shared with you about how we want to bring better accountability and some requirements to this coaching group. And we've given you the chance to step out, which is completely fine if you do. Nothing bad happens. And if you feel like moving forward that you're like, man, I just don't know if I can keep committing to this, that's fine. Just let us know. Step out of the coaching chat. If you feel like, at some point in the future you want to come back in, let us know. We'll talk about it. Yes, you're welcome to come back in and commit to the requirements. So we want you to have success. What does the success look like? It means you are gaining a paycheck, and that comes from when you are enrolling people, recruiting people, and also, learning how to help them do the same thing. But that starts with actions, activities. And so we kind of redid the income producing activity checklist. We have several of them floating around in our team. And we wanted to just have one that we put together, right? So that just this chat would use, so that it would keep everything simple. And we wanted to pare it down, especially because most of you are in the beginning stages of just getting used to making time to do this. Okay. Many of you are moms. I know Emily's not, but that's okay. But everyone has full schedules, and this makes us like we have to learn how to make time to do this. Okay. And it's going to look different for every single person. Okay. It doesn't matter if we have the same amount of kids, it's going to look different for everyone. Okay. So we wanted to streamline the actions, but we also wanted to have a requirement, because in my 10 years of doing Plexus, what I have found for myself personally is that when I am in a group setting, whether it's a chat or a Facebook group, and there is a requirement of like a daily or a weekly check-in that, yes, I did these activities, I stay accountable, because number one, this has happened before. I told myself I am not getting kicked out of that group when I was in other accountability groups, because the requirement was there was a certain requirement check-in by the end of the week with these things that you did. And I was like, I am not getting kicked out of this group. I am not getting kicked out of this group. I am going to do it even if it kills me. It didn't kill me. Actually, I ranked up at the end of that training that we had. That's another story for another time. So all I'm saying is accountability is very, very helpful, because it prompts us to fulfill what we said we would do. Okay. And when we're doing those actions as the time goes by and we're doing them consistently, we start to get people curious. We start to have people say, yes, I would like more information. And you learn how to follow up, and you're doing those things. So that's all good stuff. That's what we want you to do. We want you to have that success. Okay. So we are going to be doing a daily check-in starting this coming Monday, where everyone, whoever, when you do your checklist, the action steps for success, whatever time of day it is, it does not matter. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, check in, say on Monday, I did these things, check in, even if it's at like 11 p.m. at night. Okay. It doesn't matter. You're not going to wake us up. All right. Cause I have notifications off. Let's see. Share the graphic. Yes. Yes. Let me screen share. Sorry. 1 second, girls.
So while she's pulling that up, what I will say is that the accountability part. So I also
No, not that one.
was a part of a group a while ago, not that one.
Sorry. I'm trying to like get to the X here. Oh my goodness.
let me resend it to you really quick.
No, here, hang on. I have it. It's just my screen.
That's
There.
okay. It's right there now.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. What I was going to say is it really doesn't matter where you are in your business. There are going to be times where you realize that there is no one to clock in and out with. And that is what makes it really easy to lose accountability doing this.
Yep.
So, you know, I've been doing this for 4 years. Melody's been doing this for like 8,000 years.
No.
Crystal's been here almost 3 years. There are just times where you're like, I can do that later.
Yeah.
And you can slip into a less accountable phase of your business. And that's where you start to, you know, lose some momentum. And when we're trying to build more momentum, we want to stay accountable and take action in our business. And I know Melody was saying that it was a story for another day, but there was the first training that I ever did with Melody was for a jewel type training. So we can go over this another day, but when you get to the higher ranks, they send you on this like big luxury vacation in Hawaii. Next year it's going to be an Alaskan cruise, but it was basically all the things that you need to learn to become a jewel one day. And there was a big accountability factor in that group. And that's when I went Fast Start Senior Silver. So I hit that second rank within my first 60 days. So yeah, having accountability and having action steps are what makes a big difference in our business. So we're going to be doing this every day. Some of this is going to be like, okay, this is stuff I'm already doing. And then some of it is going to be some new stuff. So do you want to go through this, Melody, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah. So post 1 to 2 times on your wall. We're referring to Facebook here, but not Instagram. So, all right, we're pretending everybody uses Facebook the most. Okay. So this is for Facebook. So post 1 to 2 times on your wall per day using the posting rotation. So we have put in the coaching chat, the posting rotation. It's basically ideas on what to post based on your life. Okay. So you're not sitting there on like a Tuesday thinking, I don't know what to post, because that happens to every single one of us. It happens to me often. Okay. The posting rotation prompts your brain to think, be like, what am I doing in my life? What can I share? Okay. Sometimes it's going to be about plexus. Yes, absolutely. But we need to be posting. Posting is important because it shows people that we care about interacting with them on social media. All right. Stories are wonderful, a wonderful way to interact more informally and personally with people or show more informal parts of your life. Jillian, Emily messaged me today with a question. I'm just going to go back and look at it really quick, Emily, because I forgot exactly what you said. She said, and can you answer this question, by the way, Jillian? Here's her question. Where it says stories, am I supposed to post personal, problem, product, solution, poll, all of those every day in her stories?
I wouldn't get like hung up on it. There are going to be some days where you post more personal stuff. There's going to be days where you post more plexus stuff. But that's a really good layout if you get in that stuck position where you're like, well, what do I want to post about? How do I want to post in a way that shows people what plexus does? So you can kind of use this layout if you wanted to do like products or the business, but you don't have to stick to that every single day. But if you wanted something really simple of like, how do I get my point across in stories without 8,000 slides?
Yeah.
So if you're like, okay, I need something quick, easy, simple that is going to get people's attention, because if you've ever done story reach outs, you know that we usually reach out to like the last story slide, whoever viewed all of them. So if you have like 8 slides, you're going to lose viewers. So I noticed when I started sticking to this like 4 to 6 slides, people view way more than if it's a long thing. So no, you don't have to stick to this every single day, but it is a good little roadmap if you need help.
Mhm. I think what we can do is give examples though to help the girls and even myself. Like we can not right now, but in the next day or so, Jillian and I can show an example of a what a story series would look like for you. So it would be like 4 to 5 slides in your story. So a personal story would be just something about whatever you're doing in your day-to-day life or something that you did on the weekend that you just want to put a quick it can be more than one slide. Probably like
Mm-hmm.
2 is good, personal. Personal just means it's not pertaining to plexus, okay? And then the problem and the product solution and the poll are plexus-based story slides. We can put together an example of those slides so nobody's left guessing like I have no idea how to put those things together. Okay? So we'll put them together.
If you guys want to see that, I did just post in my stories and I basically used that layout. I wound up wanting to do the products and the business. So I have a few more slides than what I'm talking about right now. Um, but it's the same layout. And like now that you know the layout, if you look at my stories, you'll be like, ah, okay, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So the next section, the next checklist, the third thing on the checklist is reach out to 3 new potentials, inviting them to Plexus about products or the business. So it's people that you have not invited to Plexus yet on Facebook in your messages. So 3 people each day. And right now, all of you who are in the beginning stage, you should have a decent group of people. Like you shouldn't run out of people. And if you feel like you are, that's where we can help you with that. You can ask us, talk to us. Okay. So 3 new people a day reaching out, inviting them to Plexus. Super, super simple. We have messages for that. I think we can put them in the chat. We can put them in like
Um,
a file. Yes.
I want to butt in really quick. So I talked to Crystal about this yesterday, and I said, no, I'm not going to talk about that because sometimes newer people can get overwhelmed with this. But Jessica is brand new, and she reached out to 7 people today.
Mhm.
So, in case this question comes up, I want to bring this up because Crystal talked about it yesterday, and then Jessica did it today. So, I'm just going to say it. I would count that as 2 days worth of reach outs. So that's how I do my business. If you have 3 reach outs a day and you reach out to 7 people, that's 2 days. So because Crystal was like, well, sometimes I what we call batch work. So
Mhm.
like Crystal's seasoned, she's been here for a few years. So this is not out of her norm. But I said, I don't want to talk about that because it can overwhelm people. But Crystal will go and blast messages
Yep.
and do like 20 reach outs at once. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not going to talk about that because the idea of, 15, 20 reach outs is going to overwhelm a new person. And then Jessica's brand new. And she's like, I got to message 7 people today. And I was like, oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
So,
You can do
so
that.
just in case that comes up. And that's something that some of us will do. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. So I feel like 3 is a really simple
Yep.
number. It's not overwhelming and it's getting work done.
Yes.
Um, Go ahead,
It's
Melody.
doing it's being consistent 5 days a week, doing a little bit, and that little bit adds up. Instead of saying, "Oh, I don't know when to work. I'm not sure. I messaged 3 or 4 people this week." No, think about it. If you've now messaged 15 people for the first time about Plexus each week in this time, like when we're doing this, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of reaching out. Okay. So then the fourth one is follow up with 3 people or people who have become your customers. So if you have no customers yet, totally fine. Um, people you've already reached out to about Plexus, you're simply reaching back out to them again. There's different ways of following up. You can send them a testimony that relates to them. We have groups for that where you can find those. You can send a recording of a really good product health event that we have things all over the place. Like about the products, a good video about that, asking them if they would watch that kind of follow up. Or you could simply follow up and be like, hey, you were really curious and open about starting these products last week. Would you like to get started today? And be very straightforward, and that's it, and hit send. All right. Coaching chat, daily check-in. Okay, you guys, girls, here's the thing. If you are afraid of speaking up in the coaching chat and just cheering people on or saying, I have a question, I'm struggling, whatever it is, please do not be afraid. Please speak up and chime in on the coaching chat. And here's why. You may think, if you think my voice is not important, I want to be quiet. I don't want to say the wrong thing. You will not say the wrong thing. You will not say the wrong thing. You will say the right thing, because here's why. When you girls are quiet, we don't know how to help you. We don't know how to come alongside you. And also, when you're quiet, if everybody feels like they should be quiet, nobody's talking and everybody continues to be quiet. When people have speak up, it puts really good energy in that space. And that's what we want. We want you to get to know each other and cheer each other on, because you don't want to be doing this by yourself. So part of the way to have some energy, some good energy in that chat is daily check-in. When you've done these action steps, check into the chat and say, I did my action steps. Okay. If you wanted to share something that happened, that you had a good conversation with somebody, go to the chat and share it. If you want to share something that happened where somebody said no, and maybe they said no very unkindly, because that does happen from time to time, and it really hurts and it bothers you, come to the chat and share that so we can help you and cheer you on and encourage you. Okay. All that stuff. Listen to a podcast or read 10 pages in a self-development book. Okay, if you don't know what book to start on. Oh, yes, and we were going to talk about book study. We have lots of good suggestions for you. Listening to a podcast, it is very easy to pop on one episode, like a 20-minute episode of somebody's podcast, and listen to it while you're washing dishes or driving your car, eating your food, folding your laundry, whatever you're doing. This is the best way to multitask, especially if, if you're just busy. Like for me, when I started Plexus, and still to this day, doing laundry, cooking, washing dishes, I used to listen to a lot of things that would help my mindset change so I could work this business well. We have good podcasts to listen to, you guys. Oh, they're so good. I listen to one either almost every day, or I catch up on team voice messages when I'm getting ready in the morning. And then the last one, be live on at least one training per week. So what does that mean? That means, so either be live on here on a Thursday evening in our coaching Zoom, or like we would love for you to be live on more than one, but we're saying a minimum of one Zoom per week. We have other Zooms in the week that we do with team stuff that are very, very valuable for your learning and your growth. So on Mondays, we have in the morning, we have Master Your Monday, we have Message Blast Monday. On Monday nights, we have Monday Night Meetup. That is a larger group setting where you always come away with valuable knowledge on how to do Plexus. Okay. So, and then on Thursdays, of course, we have this. But if you feel like, man, I don't know if I can make it all those, and you're starting off, we get it. Okay. We just want you to start to learn to commit to at least one per week. It doesn't matter which one it is. It's going to look different from week to week. It might be a Thursday evening one, and then in the next week, it might be a Monday night meetup one. Okay. So it's totally up to you. Okay. But this ensures that when you're live, you really get the information differently when you're live, and you get to be live with a community of other women who are doing this like you are. You're not just watching the recording. Okay. I think, let's see.
Can I give a suggestion, Melanie?
Absolutely, go for it.
When you guys are doing your reach outs, I highly, highly, highly suggest writing the names of those people down, because then it makes the action of your follow-ups a lot easier. take it from somebody who did not listen to Jillian for close to a year and never wrote anything down. I was like, it's fine. I'll just go scrolling through my messenger every day and see who I need to talk to. It is pure torture if you do your business that way. So if you could establish a habit of writing those people down from the beginning, then next week when you go to do your follow-ups, you can go back to your reach out list from the week before and follow up with those people.
Yes, that is very good advice. I never used to use a planner. Well, I maybe used one in college, but very briefly. So when I really started learning to write things down, because I was not originally an organized, naturally organized woman, was in Plexus. And over the years, all I do is I purchase just a basic planner and I follow a worksheet or a checklist, but I like to write the names down in my little that I make my own little list and all that stuff. But, or you can print off a bunch of these, the checklist, or, you can use a notebook and write people's names down and just follow the checklist on your phone. Does that make sense? So you just find out how it works for you. Okay. And you do it that way. All right. Jillian, I'm gonna have you
My
go on.
my printer
Yes.
is out of ink, and I'm being too stubborn to go buy more ink because I have one of those printers that like the ink is the same price as like a whole printer. Anyway, that's not the point. I am currently working right now off of a stack of printer paper because I'm like, I will write this stuff down before I go buy more ink. But it gives me an excuse to use colored pens, and I think that's where I thrive. So,
Yes. Do you want to go over the bingo board and I'll screen share?
yes. Okay. So before we jump into anything else, does anyone have any questions with this sheet? Anything on there?
You're not going to ask the wrong question if you ask a question. Okay. We don't want, and if you can't think of one now, that's normal too. You can always go to the chat and ask it later.
I was going to say, if you do have a question, please put it in the chat. Because if you have a good question and you ask us privately, Melody and I have decided that we're going to put it in the chat. Just so everyone can learn, because people ask really good questions and we give answers privately, and that's great, but then other people don't learn from those questions. So we're going to put it in the chat regardless. So, okay, if you have questions, put it in the chat. We want to help you. We're going to be doing something really cool and really fun. Crystal and I have done this in the past. That you don't have to share the picture, Melody, because it's not finished.
Oh,
I didn't get to update it, but we are going to be doing a team wide. So whoever's in this coaching chat, just for our coaching chat, we're going to be doing a 2-week, because there's 2 complete weeks left in August. We're going to be doing a bingo board. Crystal probably remembers this. She's like, I don't think so. Oh, okay. I was like, does she remember? Okay. So it's going to be really simple, fun things. So we're going to do this for 2 weeks straight. And then we're all going to come together sometime first week in September and go over our results, give out prizes, talk about what's working for us, what's not working for us, what do we need help with, where are we thriving, where are we growing. It's going to be really fun. Now, if you are following the worksheet and checking in every day, you're going to be, I have this pulled up on my phone, you're going to be checking off things on this bingo board, okay? So it's going to be really fun. I'm going to go over some of the things on the bingo board, although some of them, oh no, I remember what we're adding. We've done this before and it's always fun. But I had to take some things out that weren't relevant anymore and replace it with some new good stuff. So you've got your free space in the middle. I'm going to drop this in the chat tomorrow too. So we'll implement this starting Sunday. I just have to revamp it. But if you add a new VIP, do a magic post. If you're not familiar with a magic post, we're going to tell you what that is. Get 3 people to make a post for you. So that could be like a shout out post. So if you've got a friend that you send a sample to, ask her to take a selfie and post for you, tag you in it. If you're here, you've probably done a shout out post for whoever enrolled you. So that kind of post. Do the challenges in the chat. So we're going to have some other challenges that are going to pop up throughout the next 2 weeks. Do the challenge. So it may be like a post or a special reach out or, anything like that. If you enroll 3 people, that's on the board. Make an income post. We'll teach you how to do that. If you're like, I don't have a paycheck yet, it doesn't matter. We're going to show you how to do that. Share a testimony. Guys, this is really easy because we have a group with thousands and thousands of stories. Go in there and pick one. Zooms. So if you get on Thursday night Zoom next week and the week after, that's 2 bingo spots. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is not crazy outlandish stuff. Like, if you're working your business, you're going to be checking stuff off. Watch Monday night in Rising Diamonds. If you are not in the Rising Diamonds group, please comment in the chat, in the coaching chat, and we will add you in there. Go live about your regimen. That's probably going to be the scariest one for so many people. So me and Crystal and Melody are going to have to like take one for the team and do it first, because we're all comfortable going live. And then you guys can just comment on ours and recreate it. It's very easy, I promise. 3 dream teamer reach outs. Guys, this is like the most fun part of your business. If you have never done a dream teamer reach out, once you finally do it, you're like, oh my God, this is so much fun. Because there's always that one person that you're like, I just want her to do this with me. I could shake her. Like, I want her on my team so bad. You see like these amazing qualities in people. And finally you get up the courage and you're like, I'm just going to message her. I did it today. It was fantastic. And she said she was interested. That's like even so much better. Okay. Income producing activity for the second week. So even if you're just doing your check-ins, even if you're just doing your income producing activity every day, that's 2 spots on the bingo board. Okay. And then sharing this is going to count for like your reach outs and your follow-ups. Okay. So sharing 3 people, the Sunday night opportunity Zoom, we'll have that in the chat so you know exactly where it is. Or what else did we say? Oh, the product Zooms. So Lori is doing the product Zooms in Rising Diamonds. There's a recording for all of them. If you send that and the opportunities into 3 people, it doesn't have to be the same people. You can send 3 people a product one and 3 people a business one or whatever. Those are 2 spots. I can't even read this. Share a takeaway from Rising Diamonds in the chat. Share your why. Make a post telling people why you do this. Help a level 1 go silver. So if you enroll someone and then you help her enroll 3 people, that's a bingo board. Your personal order, because everybody's commission qualified, right? 3 new reach outs per week. So like I said, doing these things, you're checking off stuff on your bingo board. Share your before and after pictures, because before and after pictures are what gets people. Commit to your healthy habits. So we are going through High Performance Habits right now. If you haven't read that book, highly suggest it. One of the things that's in there says that if you want to be a high performer at anything you do in life, you have to have healthy habits. And we should all basically have healthy habits because of the business that we work in. So stick to your healthy routine because it actually makes you more successful. What are you going to say, Crystal?
For before and afters, only because I've experienced this with people that I've enrolled. If you're not comfortable sharing, like, let's say like body pictures or like, your shirt up or whatever, even just, I've personally have gotten these a lot of traction, even just face pictures, because you will lose so much inflammation in your face. Your eyes look so much brighter when you're on plexus. Your smile is bigger. So even just a side by side of something like that will have an impact. So don't feel like I don't want to show my body, so like I can't do that. Yes, you can. Everything is figure outable.
Yes. And then the last one is a daily gratitude journal. If you are not doing that, you'd be surprised how much of a game changer that is in your business. I do one every morning and every night. Just pointing out things that I am grateful for, excited about. I will drop that in the comments, and I have it written down on a little card, because otherwise I literally forget what I'm supposed to be writing down in my journal, even though I do it every day. Get a notebook, write it down every day. You'd be surprised like how much it changes your whole mindset and your positive thinking. So that is our bingo board. I'm going to put all of that in the chat tomorrow. So we're going to do that for 2 weeks straight. We're going to start Sunday. Melody, when did you want to start the check-ins and that action steps worksheet?
So Monday.
Okay.
Monday.
That's what
I
I
mean, we'll yeah, over the next few days, we'll announce the, get these things in. If you have questions, ask in the chat. Okay. I'm just looking at our notes really quick here. Yeah. So you weren't supposed to remember all of that. That was just, we have all the information to give you. So don't sit there, be like, I don't remember it. We have it for you. And we'll start on Monday. Where, you wake up Monday, or I would suggest Sunday afternoon or evening. Just think about your day, your next day. Think about Monday, be like, when would I get on Facebook and do a post and do my stories? When would that be a good time? Just start thinking, like, get used to thinking ahead if that's not your natural thing to do. Okay. It's not my natural thing to do. So I'm assuming it's like that for everyone. That's not the case, but, think ahead of, like, especially if you have little ones, like, when would I want to, like, just kind of be able to think more clearly and send out some messages to people. Or maybe you have no problem standing at the kitchen counter and just sending out messages to people. Okay. It's totally up how you are wired, how it works for you. All right. So just think ahead. Be like, when would this work for me? And then when you're done with your checklist for Monday, check into the chat. Same with Tuesday all the way through Friday, and same with the second week. And then we're gonna just reevaluate and see how everyone did. So yeah.
The last thing I want to get you guys hyped up on is we are really, really implementing this because after these 2 weeks, it's going to be September, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's got that. It's going to be September. Does anybody want to unmute and tell us what's going on September 1st? What's happening September 1st?
Leaders retreat.
Leaders retreat. Okay, so we'll go over more of that when we actually have all the details, but September 1st is going to start our leaders retreat contest. And this is something that's really exciting that they told us about at convention. Everything that we are doing now, all the recruiting that we're doing now, is going to count for retention points when the contest starts. Typically, when we have contests like this, and it's, this many days, or months, the work that you do inside the contest period is what you get points for. Points accumulate, you earn different prizes, right? But now, when we're recruiting in August, we're going to get points for that later. Yeah. So that is super, super exciting. So all the work that you were doing now, because when we've had these contests in the past, people will be like, oh, well, I wish I recruited her in September, or I'll wait to recruit her in September so that it counts for leaders retreat. No. You're doing it now, so you get points later. Okay.
Really
so
quick. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, once we have all of the actual details, we will obviously share them. We'll get on a Zoom. We'll go over strategies, who wants to earn what. There's always different prize tiers, but we're going to be sailing on an all-inclusive cruise to the Bahamas. So that is in February.
Yes, I was going to say, the trip is in February. The contest spans from the beginning of September to the last day of December. 3 months. So, sorry. So it's a 3 month.
No, it's technically 4 months. Is it till December? I think we had till December last year.
It is. What did I say? 3 months? It's from the beginning of September to
It's
the
technically 4.
So yeah, we'll talk about more of those details. We probably end this recording now. So
yeah.
So anyways, so we want to get us all in the habit of following the checklist now in these last 2 weeks of August, or going into the last 2 weeks of August, and and get things rolling, and help get everyone in some good habits and get used to this. So yeah.
Get into momentum, get into your schedules, get into your good mindset.
Yeah.
Get to where you need to be. So when September comes, you're like, I got this. We're
Yeah.
doing this.
Yep. Okay. So we're going to end it right now. Again, if you have questions, go to the chat. Thank you so much for coming on, girls. And thank you to those of you who take the time to watch this recording later. And we will be in touch with you. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye, guys.